Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Just a little bit longer, baby, and my love keep growing stronger. A little more time and the tick. Just a little bit longer, baby, and my love keep growing stronger. Big up to Maxi Priest. Big up to my brother Maxi Priest, who I have worked with in the past, Mr. Maxi Priest. Somebody asked me if I worked with Ziggy Marley. Yes, I've worked with Ziggy Marley as an MC. I worked with Majek Fashek and Ziggy Marley. Majek Fashek was the opening, the African artist. Majek Fashek was the opening act for Ziggy Marley. I believe it's at the China Club in, if I remember, the China Club in Manhattan. I was the MC for that event. Big up to Steve. What was that white guy's name that booked me to be the MC for that show? I forgot his name. White dude. But yes, somebody asked me if I worked with Ziggy Marley. Yes, I have worked with a lot of the Marley children in the past. Big up to Bob Marley's children. I've worked with Rita Marley too. Matter of fact, working with Rita and a lot of the children, I think Julian was there, I believe Damian Marley was there, yeah. Evad, who was not a Marley child, but he was one of their Tough Gong artists. Working with Rita was one of my, I felt that was one of my greatest accomplishments as an MC. As a matter of fact, I wrote about it in the book here. No promotion is bad promotion. And although I didn't take a picture with Rita, I have a picture of me as an MC of the show. Somebody caught me. I believe it was Roland Hyde, the photographer, or it was Donovan Germain that caught me at the show. And I believe it's here, but I was working with Rita Marley back in those days as an MC, just an MC. I was working with the family at I think it was Irving Plaza, but I was so nervous because bringing on Rita Marley was like bringing on, bringing on the Empress of Ethiopia. Bringing on Rita Marley in the reggae world back in those days was like bringing on the Empress of Ethiopia, because the Empress of Ethiopia is higher than the Queen of Ethiopia, Queen of England, to tell you the truth. A lot of people don't know that. The Empress and the Emperor of Ethiopia are the highest monarch in the world before England, before these presidents of the United States. The Empress and the Emperor are the highest monarchs and rulers, especially during His Imperial Majesty's time, Haile Selassie. No matter what people feel about His Imperial Majesty, whatever background stories they have about His Imperial Majesty, when it came to sitting at the head of the table, when you're meeting with officials at high levels, the two people or the one person that sat at the head during that meeting with Queen Elizabeth, His Imperial Majesty, and other leaders, because Ethiopia or Abyssinia is the largest or is the oldest of all of them, he had to sit at the table. And he has the most power. And of course, they was always planning to take away his power. You know how Europeans get down. It's crazy. It's crazy. But there's a picture out there. There's a picture and there's a video about that out there. So you go look for the picture about Haile Selassie and Queen Elizabeth sitting at a table. And anybody that's sitting at the head of the table is the oldest sovereign. Take note of that. The oldest sovereign is Ethiopia. Ethiopia or Abyssinia. Whatever name you might choose. I can't find that picture, but I know I have that picture of me being the MC of the Rita Marley show. But that was one of the scariest moments in my life. That was one of the scariest moments in my life because I wanted everything right. I was also myself, and the owner of SOBs in Manhattan was also the producer, and I was a promoter and an MC and co-producer of that event. Rita Marley, the flyer is here. Oh, that's right, the flyer is in here. Let me show y'all the flyer. Show y'all I ain't talking out my assets. I'm not talking out my assets, but the flyer is here. The flyer is in the book. I may not have that picture of me on the stage, but the flyer is in the book. Where you at, flyer? There it is. There it is. So y'all can get my book, boy. I give you stories in this book. Stop playing. There it is. Boom. Marley Magic Tour. Rita Marley, Julian, Damien Jr. Gong when he was younger. I've worked with Damien Jr. Gong and Ivad. Ivad was one of their artists from Tough Gong, but I worked on November 23rd. Irving Plaza. See the MC right there? Simon Templar of WNWK 105.9 radio. That's right, at Irving Plaza. So I don't have to lie about what I've done. And then that's another show I did with Marley, the Marley brothers, Julian and Junior Gong. When that's Junior Gong, the one that sing Jamaica, Jamrock. That's Junior Marley. Before he got all his locks, that's Junior Marley, right? That's Junior Gong right there. Look how young and young he was back in those days. So yeah, I worked with Junior Gong back in the day. Back in the day, that's my stuff. You see my name up there. You see my name as the MC at SOBs and all that kind of stuff. I am the MC. And then I says on the body, Marley Brothers at SOBs and Marley Magic at Irving Plaza. Need I say more? I can actually say that I was nervous when I emceed this show, especially when I brought on the queen mother of reggae music on the stage of Irving Plaza, Rita Marley. Oh, baby, talk that sass, King. Y'all make sure y'all get the book. Go to Amazon or go to my link tree. Y'all get a whole lot of stories, how to promote your business from a small level to a large level, but to talk about sponsorship. But it gives you my story from my world of promotion and production. No promotion is bad promotion, and all publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right. The original name was No Promotion is Bad Promotion. Just spell my name right. But this is a good book. I want to thank Dr. Africa for republishing it for me. That's Dr. Africa's logo, Charles Publishing, and Dr. Africa and Dr. Melanie helped publish this book. All right. So, and I have to say, the first publisher was while he was in his metaphysics world. As a matter of fact, Brother Polite was the one that published this book first when it was called No Promotion is Bad Promotion, Just Spell My Name Right. And that was right before he moved to LA, right before he moved to Hollywood. Oh, that's right. That was right before he moved to Hollywood. And whatever happened, that's between him and his creator. Whatever happened, that's between him and his creator. I don't know what happened after he moved to Hollywood, but as we all know, it went down the way it went down. Whatever he's doing, that's hey. Okay, let me get into the subject matter, and I want y'all to share this. This is very important. Want y'all to share this because these particular words that I'm about to share with you have stimulated me and stimulated my mind for many years. And I want y'all to hit up astrologer Samuel F. Reynolds. Very good astrologer. He's been one of my astrologers. His name is Samuel F. Reynolds. Very good astrologer. Very good. He has spoken amongst some of the greatest forums, the great astrology forums that the Europeans have to offer. This brother named Samuel F. Reynolds. I want y'all to check him out. And he has a website called Unlocked Astrology. Unlocked Astrology. Check out his website. Why I'm shouting Samuel F. Reynolds out, not only was he a skeptic of astrology and numerology and all these wonderful things that helps to guide us and take us to where we got to go in life. But Samuel F. Reynolds is also a Muslim, a practicing Muslim. And anybody who's known Islam from a practicing, quote unquote, Orthodox Islamic lifestyle, they know that a lot of different religions frown on astrology, numerology, and all of that. Even when I spoke to Imam Siraj Wahab of the Brooklyn Temple over there, Taqwa. Him and I sat down in his office, and because myself and my wife, who happens to be his secretary at that time, she had problems with my book. My first numerology book, which is Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I was married to a Muslim woman. I was practicing Muslim also. I've been from the 5% to the Ansars to the Nation of Islam, and I even did Sunni Islam briefly. But when I explained what I was doing with numbers, not from somebody trying to worship numbers, not somebody trying to revere numbers to the point that you're going to bow down and worship every time you do something. I'm not fanatical with anything. I learned that in my growth as far as being converted to Islam, not to be fanatical. So even if you're in religion of any sort, don't be fanatical about it. Find the balance, find the equilibrium. So I'm explaining the story to Imam Siraj. And when I explained to him and made correlations with the Quran and made correlations with the Bible, you know that Imam bought this book right out of my hand. And that showed me Imam Siraj, and I'm going to have him on my show very soon. I'm working on his show. If he's not traveling, I'm going to have that brother on my show very soon, because Imam Siraj is a well-respected, well-versed Imam, born March 11th, the same day as Terrence Howard, born March 11th. Very masterful with words as far as Arabia and English, but also brings balance to his community. Not to judge that and not to judge this, but find the balance. And that's what I love. That's why I will always, when I'm in town, I will always either go and visit my ex-wife to make sure she all right. And if he's in town, I'll shout him out. If he happens to be there, I always give him a big hug and a brace. And of course, the late Professor Soke Ali Kareem, who just passed on and recently passed on, I used to go and visit him also. Those are my teachers. Not only religious, but also martial arts, but also relationships. So Imam Siraj, a well-respected Imam in Brooklyn, bought this right out of my hand for $20. Boom. Because he understood when I explained to him that no, numbers is not to be worshiped. It's to be used as a guidance. Just like a GPS, and explained it and showed him about the book of Numbers in the Bible, and then over the Quran is number 19, and why is that, what that represents in numerology in certain aspects. The man bought it right out of my hand. Did me and my former wife stay together? Of course not, because sometimes sisters can be in their own head, and she has those numbers that can be in her own head also. She has that 22 energy, and sometimes that 22 energy can revert to the 4, and that they'll stay in their head all emotional. I got it. But she was definitely one of the women that I would have considered staying with, because she was still supportive to a certain extent, and I supported her business and her jewelry making business to a point. I still have her jewelry. I still have some of her jewelry. She made beads like this. I still have some of her jewelry with me, and I wear it every now and then. I wear some of her jewelry, and so with any of the women that I've been with, I support their dreams. And it's not only about me. It's about supporting one of each other with balance. Remember that. It's about supporting one another with balance. And if your business is taking off and and that person's that you're with is not taking off and it's just growing slowly, then it's incumbent upon you to try to help balance that out and help push them as much as they can. If it gets miserable and crazy, then you leave it alone, of course. Because sometimes you can be in a relationship and that person is jealous of you. Woohoo! Let me talk about that. Sometimes you can be in a relationship and that person is jealous of your growth, jealous of your expansion. So the topic for today is, are you a wonder worker, or are you still wondering about your work? This is going to be a good one. Make sure y'all share this. This is going to be a good one. Share it. Share it with a friend that might be open to, because I'm going to go to the board. I got to go to the board. Today is November the 4th. 2023, it adds up to a number 13. When you break it all down, 13 is the number of power, dominance. And if you don't use the number 13 correctly, it can wreak havoc according to the studies. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. Phoenix, you got to understand that alignment number of the number 7, that alignment number, and because they're born in July and that first, sometimes the ego takes over. That's all. With one, the ego can take over. When in actuality, he should have aligned himself and brought balance, because July 1st equals a number 8. 7 plus 1 equals 8, and 8 deals with learning how to find balance and putting out the good cause, because 8 is a karmic number, and karma only means cause and effect. It was about putting out the good cause so you can get the right effect. But he went with his ego of number 1. 1 is an ego number. On the negative, 1 can be an ego number. Thank you for coming to the page. So today is P. Diddy's birthday. Well, it's today's birthday. Today is Michael McConaughey's birthday. Happy birthday to P. Diddy. Whatever. He's in a 4 personal year cycle, because when you add the month plus the day plus the year that you're in, that's a personal cycle year. Then you find out what's the theme of that year for you. So he's in a personal 13-4 cycle, which can be a confining number, but it also can be a very powerful number if P. Diddy is disciplined, if his mind is structured, if he's willing to build and creatively express himself in a disciplinary manner without being miscommunicable. Because sometimes 4s can suffer from miscommunication. 4s can suffer from miscommunication. Let me say that again. People born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month can suffer from miscommunication. So can people born under the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month or you have a lot of 4s, a lot of 8s in your chart, you can suffer from miscommunication, misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? And even like that that Phoenix just said about that brother, he's seen the ego, but also his alignment number 8 can be misunderstood. That's how deep it is. So, Holistic Hope. What up, girl? That's my girl. That's my iridologist right there. She look in my eyes and then seeing the whole world. And she's helped me out too. I'm getting a lot of dark juices, berries, and all that. I drink her tea. So big up to Holistic Hope. Big up to Holistic Hope in the building. So these 2 words, wonder worker. Wonder worker. Are you a wonder worker, or are you still wondering about your work? Let me get my slappers. Where my slappers at? My slappers here? Oh. My slap that. Woo! Smack that ass. Smack that ass. Pop, pop, pop. Stop playing. Pop. You know I'm gonna have fun. So these people's like, what the hell? King Five is crazy. So these people, see, now everybody, and a lot of my clients are wondering about their work in this realm. However, the wonder worker grows into their work, enjoys their work, love their work, and then make money from their work. Because sometimes, like I remember Les Brown saying, what would you do at a class? Now think about this. I was at Les Brown. I studied with Les Brown in 2005, which happened to be my 1 personal year that year. 2005, New Beginnings. That's my first time studying with from Les Brown, because he was on WBLS at that time. He's born February 17th. So I'm studying with Les Brown, and he's in this class, and he says, what would you do for free? What would you do for free? He said, what is it that you do so well? You got to find that. What is it that you do so well that you would do it for free for the rest of your life, but because you do it so well, people are willing to pay you. That's what Les Brown said in the class. He said, what would you do? What is it that you do so well? From the time you was a child, you may have lost it from that child. From the time you was a child until you was growing up, you got to look back into the annals of your mind. What is it that you do so well that you would do it for free for the rest of your life? But because you do it so well, people will pay you for it, or they have offered you to pay you. Some people, when I first started breaking it down, people offered to give me donations before I really started setting a price on it. a vibratory price. So are you a wonder worker, or are you still wondering about your work? Because your wonder of your work is already with you. It's been with you since you was a child. Some people got it shut down. Some people got it shut down. And if you ever read anything, I'm going to Dr. Shakira Moore. If you read anything, if you part of her newsletter, she tells you about her introduction to iridology when she was a young girl. And obviously, it intrigued her to the point that she's doing iridology today. So her wonder work developed because she found the wonder in what that person was doing to her. Dr. Shakira, am I right? Dr. Shakira, am I right? Say yes or nay, yay or nay. Dr. Shakira's in the line. Big up to her. Holistic Hope. Her mother took her to an iridologist. If you read her stories in her newsletter, her mother took her to an iridologist. And look, years later, she said, yes, sir. Years later, she is one of the most profound iridologists that even Dr. Phil Valentine acknowledged, and she's one of Dr. Phil Valentine's students. So make sure y'all support us. Holistic Hope. That's her right there. Holistic Hope. Go do an iridology thing. Believe me, there's only 3 iridologists that I've had do my eyes. Look into my eyes. I don't like people looking in my eyes unless you're about to make love to me. Don't look into my eyes unless you're going to make love to me. I'm talking about women. But there's only 3 iridologists that have looked in my eyes. A Brother Polite's former wife named Anuket, Dr. Africa, Dr. Laila Africa, and Dr. Shakira Moore. Nobody else have looked in my eyes and have been so precise with what they seen in my eyes that even I knew that was going on in my system. Her, Dr. Africa, Dr. Shakira, and Anuket. I don't know what Anuket is doing nowadays. After she left Polite years ago and took her children and kept them moving, I don't know what she's doing. But I know those were the only 3 people that have ever really looked into my, other than the eye doctors that my mother took me to for examination and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, those are different. But when you could look into somebody, that gift, that wonderful gift, because that's why I said, are you a wonder worker, or are you still wondering about your work? Because the wonderful work already exists in you, but you have beaten it down. You have suppressed it over the days, over the decades, over the years. And you know I got to go to the board, the mathematics of it. I got to go to the mathematics. Oh, I got to go to the mathematics, nigga. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The word wonder equals the number 37, which is 7. The word wonder in the Chaldean system adds up to 29, which is 11. The word worker adds up to 36, which is a 9. The word worker in the Chaldean system adds up to a number 6, which is a number 24, which is a 6. Everything is significant for the wonder worker. The wonder worker. The wonder worker. And are you a wonder worker, or are you wondering about your work? Let's go to the board. Now, because in the Pythagorean system, it adds up to a 34, 7. Think about this. The word wonder. Now, what is it that white folks always talk about? The 7 wonders of the world. The 7 wonders of the world. You think they don't study these numbers? You think they don't know that the word wonder means is connected to the number 7 in the Pythagorean system? That is, the Pythagorean system is the Pythagorean theorem is one of their greatest philosophers in history that set off everything. That's why they call him the father. So you think we hear about the 7 wonders of the world, but it adds up to a number 7? You think that's coincidental? You think that's coinky-dink? No, it's patterns, cycles, sequences, and that's what they went searching for, the 7 wonders of the world. That's what they do. But 7 means the word wonder deals with deeper, intuitive, mystical meaning of what you have to dig deep for, or remind yourself of the law of what you should be attracted to by digging deep and looking back into the annals of time of your divine mind and heart. Because you got 3 and you got 4 first, which deals with expression, but deals with also heart frequency, but also dealing with divine understanding the structure of who you are. Communication, these are 2 communication numbers. So you have to learn how to communicate so you can understand the deeper meaning of who you are if you want to recognize your wonderful acts. Oh, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. And now the word wonder adds up to 29, which is a 7. And in numerology, the negative of the 29 be deception, treachery. You could be deceiving yourself because because you haven't found your wonder and you haven't dig deep. You could be deceiving yourself. So it doesn't just mean being deceptive by somebody else. It means you could be casting your own deception also upon yourself and shutting down your wonder. You got to be very careful of shutting down your wonder. Because if you want to be a wonder worker, and that master number 11 deals with, remember, 11 deals with insight, spiritual teacher, spiritual guide, internally as well as externally, that came to bring the masterful gift to this realm. That's what the 11, because the number 11 and the 7, 11 are the numbers of revelations on different levels. So if you understood those 7 and 11 in the wonder, then you need to dig deep and then be willing to reveal it. Because 11 is also the number of fame and fortune if you dig deep and being willing to reveal it and masterfully build it, because it is a master number. Now the word workers adds up to 36, which is a 9. And when you work, you got to finish what you start in order for you to climb the higher level of who you are, or the highest ladder, because 9 is the highest single digit number in the mathematical chart. 9. And 9 is one of the special numbers that anything it multiplies with or adds to, it always bring it back to itself. And then the word worker adds up to number 24, which is a 6. 6 says you got to love it. You got to find balance in it. You got to be willing to build in it and love what you do, because 6 is a love frequency, and so is 9 is the higher level of love. So you got to be a wonder worker. In order for you to be a wonder worker, you got to dig deep. You got to be willing to manifest it. You got to be willing to finish what you start and think at a higher level of accomplishment. And you have to love it. You got to love it. I'm telling you the story of being a wonder worker. Oh, baby. I'm not new to this. 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 I'm true to this. And I woke up with that in my mind this morning. I had a dream about Buju Banton, born July the 15th. Dreamt about Buju born July the 15th. And him and I was involved with some event and all that. And we was walking, and all of a sudden we walked in this big area where we was headed to some mansion somewhere, but we didn't see the mansion yet. We've just seen the land that person was on. But me and Buju, then I jumped to another dream where it woke me up and said, why are people wondering about their work? When the wonders, I've been doing promotion since I was 12 years old. I've been doing promotion since I was 12 years old. So I already started seeing what it is that I love to do since I was 12. Thus, I wrote a book called No Promotion is Bad Promotion. All publicity is good publicity, just spell my name right. How did I come to recognize that I loved it? It's because my daddy was a promoter. My older cousins became a promoter after my daddy. And I was still intrigued with it as I was growing up. And then I started promoting at the age of 12. I didn't become a professional promoter until 1995. I'm going into my 28th year now. So the wondering, I didn't have to do so much wondering. I just had to add on to the wonders that I already had. So that's what you got to learn to do. We are all wonder workers, thanks to Samuel F. Reynolds, the profound astrologist who used to do a thing called Mystic Lounge in Brooklyn. He used to provide these a Mystic Lounge where he has all the well-known readers of that area come in, and everybody that came in and paid one price, they would go around to each one. They would get they'll get a feather or something to say that this is what they want to do, or this is what they want to do, a different color. So they might go to a numerologist, they might go to an astrologer, they might go to an I Ching reader. It was called the Mystic Lounge. And it was Samuel F. Reynolds that put that together. And he always used to call all of us that was the quote unquote readers. You know, I don't like the word readers. I call myself an advisor or consultant. But he always used to call all of us the wonder workers, So I called him after he stopped doing it and he moved, and now he's in Mexico and all that kind of stuff, New Mexico. I said, Sam, do you mind if I use this word? I really love these two words, wonder work. And he gave me permission to use the word and turn it into a business if I wanted and claim it and all that. But I didn't do it. But I still, all of us are wonder workers. But you got to dig deep. Like I said, wonder adds up to the number 7 and 11. Those are deep, spiritual, recognizable numbers. You got to dig deep to find it. And it doesn't take that long if you truly listen to who you are and truly go back into the annals of time, like Queen Afua would say, and grab that child in its most imaginative and joyous moments and find that love and be willing to turn that love into the wonder work that you have to provide for the world, because many of you are still wondering about your work. Because because sometimes we are inundated with paying of the bills, children, relationships. Oh, how I'm going to do this, or how I'm going to do that, and how I'm going to take this. You got to settle your mind in order for you to find that wonder work that's inside of you. You really got to settle your mind. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
It's the Numerovational Session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.